Saluton kai bonvenon, mi estas Truccio. Today I thought we'd start by going into the alphabet. One of the best things about Esperanto is that each letter in a word is pronounced exactly the same regardless of which word it is. So once you know how to pronounce each of the letters, you can essentially pronounce all the words that you'll ever read in Esperanto. So, la alfabeto. We'll do it in groups of 6, just to make it easier and so that I can put nice big letters on the slide. But as you'll see, we've got A, Bo, So, Cho, Do, and E. Now the reason I'm putting an O sound is after each letter is just because that's the way you do it in Esperanto. The first sort of sound that I'm making with my mouth is the one that tells you how to pronounce the letter as it's written. The O is just a sort of sound of continuance that's added on to make it a bit clearer. Now, so you'll see it doesn't have the k sound, that hard sound that most Cs have, or some Cs have in other languages. The sound is basically a TS sound, it's ts, and that's always the case. If you've seen the titles for Esperanto por Komencantoj, that's how you pronounce the curly C. Next to it, we have a C with the little hat on it. That is called a circumflex, and there are a few letters in Esperanto that have that on it. In this case, it changes the sound to a ch sound. So as well as so, we also have cho. Exactly the same letter, just with a circumflex over it. And then underneath, do and e, pronounced as you would. So moving on, we've then got fo, go, jo, ho, and e. So again, the circumflex is doing something to the g sound, and rather than being go, it's now jo. There is a j in Esperanto, but that has a different sound, as we'll see in a moment. And then the circumflex again over the h gives it a h sound. It's that guttural sound right at the back of your throat, used in the words like choro, which means choir. Moving on, we've then got yo, there's that j. This is a y sound. So really, really soft and nothing like its sound in English. And then we've got j with a circumflex, or jo, very much like the French. So if you were to say je m'appelle, that's the kind of sound you're making. It's the je if it's got a circumflex over it. Then we've got ko, lo, mo, and no. So rather than being K, L, M, N, we're just following it with that O sound. So moving on then, we've got O, po, and then the first letter missing from Esperanto, which is, in English, the Q. There are other letters we can use in Esperanto to make a similar sound, but it just doesn't appear in any words. So we'll throw that one away and move on to the R. Now, R's in Esperanto are always rolled. That can be a long roll like that, or it can just be a little flick, like a ro. Doesn't really matter. If you want to put real feeling into a word, if you want to emphasize something, then you can roll it especially hard, but it's just a flick against the top of your mouth rather than the r, which we get in English. Then underneath, we've got so, and then another circumflex, changing that to a sh sound. So this is the equivalent of an sh in English. We've got a single letter with that circumflex over, which is pronounced show. And then finally, we have to, u, and then the first breve, rather than a circumflex, we've got a little dip over the top of this one. That's called a breve, and it changes the sound of this to a w sound. So we don't need the letter W, in fact we don't need X and Y either, as you can see there, but U with a breve is our wo sound. And then after that, it's as easy as a vo and a zo. So there we go. Now you know the alphabet. So running through those again, we've got A, Bo, So, Cho, Do, E, Fo, Go, Jo, Ho, E, Yo, Jo, Ko, Lo, Mo, No, O, Po, Ro, So, Sho, To, u, wo, vo, and zo. So there we go. Dankon per spekte. Ĝis poste.